As always, Global Detection Adventures is brought to you proudly by Black ADA, Advanced Digging Accessories. Make sure you check out their website at blackada.com. That's blackada, all one word, .com. Now let's go on with the show.
Hi, this is Randall Garrett from Bowie County Metal Detectors. Now live from the Black ADA studios in Schweinfurt, Germany, it is Lance. And from the GDA studios in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it is Dave. And this is Global Detecting Adventures, the podcast.
Well, hello everybody, it's Lance. I'm live at the Black ADA studios in Schweinfurt, Germany. And joining me, as always, this week is Dave, sitting in Green Bay.
Oh, good day, Lance, and to everyone listening here, I'm Dave DiNatale, a.k.a. Dave D, a.k.a. V3I Sweeper, and tonight I'm high atop the Lambeau Field atrium in the GDA studios of Titletown, USA, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Feeling pretty good today. Weather starting to become a little bit warmer. The snow's melted, and can't wait to get out, starting to make my metal detecting videos again.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
So, Lance, I talked to you earlier this morning. You're a pretty chipper guy. What's going on with you?
Well, first of all, this is kind of a big week for me. I'm pretty much a big Star Wars fan, and finally the trailer.
Nerd alert.
Finally, the trailer for the brand new Star Wars film that's getting released this year. It's called Rogue One: A Star Wars Story came out, and then I also had a little bit of a pretty humorous incident that happened between me and my brother-in-law. So I'm working with one of the local movie theaters to try and get a charity event that's starting. That's going to probably run for the next 5 years. It's going to be called Jedi for Children, and what it is me in costume and some other people that are in costumes. We go to the theaters and let people, take photographs or whatever with us. And then we also collect money that will go into like little collection jars and stuff at the cash registers and stuff like that. So my brother-in-law and we were doing a little photo shoot that was at my mother-in-law's house. They have a wall outside their house that's just one solid color, so it's really easy to remove it and put in a background in Photoshop. So we both had our Star Wars costumes on. I had mine, dressed as Obi-Wan, and my brother-in-law was dressed as the new bad guy from the new Star Wars movie. His name is Kylo Ren. So we were both sitting there getting photographed by my wife when we noticed out of the corner of our eye this little 8-year-old boy on his little bicycle, and his mother and aunt came around the corner on their little walk. And he was just staring at us in amazement, just the two of us just sitting there. And so after we got done with the photographs, we walked over, and I saw the boy, and I kind of rubbed him on the head. I was like, "Ooh, the Force is strong with you. You're going to grow up and be a great Jedi." And he was like, totally beside himself. He's like, "Yeah, I saw you on that TV show." I was like, "Yeah, that's right." And so at the same time, my brother-in-law, he's got the mask on from the bad guy, and it has a voice changer inside of it. So he leans forward at the kid, and he goes, "So do you know who I am?" And the kid's face got really, really, intense at that exact moment. He looked at my brother-in-law and said, "You're the bad guy," and then he hauled off and punched him right in the junk.
That's great, Lance. You and your brother-in-law scaring little kids, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing. The charity event it's going to be for the local orphanage. We just want to collect money, and then right before Christmas each year when the movies come out, we just take all the money out to the orphanage and donate it to them so they could have a better meal or maybe get some presents for the children.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great idea and a great benefit, but I bet you didn't know that I'm probably a bigger Star Wars fan than you are.
No, I can't be.
I know you have the toys, and you have. I've seen them before, and I'm sure you got all the videos.
Oh yeah,
and obviously you got the clothes. But when a Star Wars movie comes out, I gotta tell you, I'm really stoked about that. My family loves Star Wars. My wife, she gets the tickets really early. The kids are all excited to go. It's family night. You get that big tub of popcorn with the extra butter. So you get that refill and you get the large sodas and those pretzel bites with the cheese. And it's super awesome.
Yeah.
And then well, my favorite part is, when like the opening credits and the music starts, dun, 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 dun,
That's Indiana
dun,
Jones,
dun,
but that's all
dun.
right. I'll
That's
forgive you.
Indiana Jones? Same thing. Anyways, the credits that go up in the air and it says you are what is that? Welcome. This is a long, long time ago, and the credits go up in the air.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the whole movie because as soon as I see that, it's time for my 2.5 to 3 hour nap.
That's so unfair.
Yeah. How many movies can you say that about? You could take your family out and take a nap at the same time.
See, that's when you lean back and get comfortable. That's when I slide to the edge of my seat.
So I just want to thank you, George Lucas, for those very, very interesting, sleepy movies. Thank you very much. Sorry, Lance, I just had to put my 2 cents in there.
Oh, no, that's fine. I completely understand. It's not for everybody. I just happen to love it a lot.
Anyways, we have a great show for you guys today. Later in the show, we'll be visited by Digger Dawn and Twig the Dig. They're out of the UK.
Yep. Best known for their YouTube series, Digger Dawn and Twig the Dig. If you haven't checked them out, go to YouTube. Just type in Digger Dawn and Twig the Dig.
Yep, they have about she's way over 100 videos right now.
Oh yeah,
couple thousand subscribers. So they'll be coming on later on with Lance, and also Lance will be reading your answers to this week's question, which is
this week's question of the day is: if you could go to any one of the if you had a chance to go and metal detect any fantasy location, for example, Mordor or Hogwarts or anything, from television, books, or film, where would you like to metal detect and why? And what would you like to find?
Wow, did you write that script, Lance?
Yeah, sorry. I even lost myself in writing it and reading it.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, well, we have some answers already, but if you'd like to join in, you can post that on our group page right now. Also, we have news of our new partnership with a archaeological magazine. We got a bunch of shout outs we want to give today. We're also going to be talking about what do you consider in buying a metal detector? What influences you, and what are you looking for when you're looking for your first or second metal detector?
Yeah.
And also later on, I got to do this. I've been holding back for 3 weeks. But I got to rant. And I got to tell you, Lance, I just got to let it out because I just can't hold it in anymore.
Please
it's not good for the stress level. So we'll be getting to that later on in the show.
Yeah, I know what it's about, and I think it's about time that you actually let it out. You let this simmer inside you for a while. It's gonna explode.
It's been Uncle Festering. That's all I got to say. Anyway, but. First of all, why don't we talk about the new partnership that with the Archaeological Magazine? You could take over that, Lance, and tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. During the course of the last 2 weeks, I've been talking with a gentleman named Dave Sadler out of England, and we kind of been chatting back and forth. Well, he runs what's called Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine. Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine it's basically just a free magazine by the people for the people that covers archaeology and metal detecting and all the topics in between. It's filled with images that are submitted by the authors. They got new articles, there's new submissions, and much more every day. Now the website has been online for, I believe, just a month now, but they're getting around 9,000 visitors a day. So it's a great chance for us. It's they're keeping up. What they've done is we're doing a partnership trying to help co-promote our 2 products or our 2 brands. And then that way, what they'll do is they'll help share the podcast, they'll help share our videos, and then they also work with Digger Dawn and also Stephen Gray and share their videos and everything else. So word's getting out.
Yeah, I think we're hoping that the bond between or partnerships between metal detectorists, and archaeological digs and archaeologists would start getting a little bit more closer together, and hopefully we can share what they're looking for. If they're looking for a metal detectorist, and a lot of metal detectorists are looking for places where they can help out in an archaeological dig.
Exactly. Yeah,
Um,
that was basically just to bridge the gap to stop that resentment that seems to be between archaeologists and metal detectors, and let them know that we're here to help them. We're not here to try and just, I guess you could say, financially gain on our own turf or
right.
illegally metal detect. I know that totally came out wrong. Man, I can't even formulate a
Yeah.
word today.
Well, I think this should segue into what you considered in buying a metal detector, because if you ever are interested in doing metal detecting and helping out an archaeological dig, they're going to ask for references as far as what you use, what you dig, what you have found, how many years you've been digging. And I got to tell you, if you're going to hunt and you're going to tell them, oh, yeah, I just bought a bounty hunter at the Hobby Lobby that I paid $79 for, they're going to say, night, night, goodbye.
Mm,
Not to say that you have to have the best metal detector, but there's so many metal detectors on the market these days, and they offer a lot of different options. I want to ask you, Lance, when you're looking into buying a metal detector, what are you looking for as an option? As well, not as an option, but what do you first look at? Is it the
well, it's
cost?
yeah. Well, with me, it's definitely going to be the cost. I am working on the temp. I'm basically working through a temp agency over here in Germany. So with me, the cost is one of the major factors. Now, I just got lucky and got sponsored by Tesoro, so I happened to get their $400 or $500 machine at a decent price. But with me, when I was first looking for my very first machine, I always had the impression that, like the digital machines with the digital displays, it's basically, like the Garrett Ace 150 or the 250. That would be something that I wanted to look into. I didn't understand the difference in the, pulse induction or the different type of, how it separates the different or differentiates between all the metal. I didn't know about the different sizes of the spools. I just didn't know so much.
Yeah.
Right now,
Well, with me, the first thing I looked at is I knew I wanted to get into this hobby, and I did. A lot of guys will go and buy inexpensive detector, and they'll go out there, and it'll beep at everything, and there's really no adjustments you can make to it. And then you got the middle of the road detectors, which are very good. The AT Pro Gold, the Macro Racer 2,
mm,
I guess the Garrett 400i. Those are some of the middle of the road ones, but they're very good. You can find a lot of stuff with that, and they have some great adjustments. But I knew that I was going to get into this hobby heavy, and I took the time. I knew what I wanted. I wanted the White's V3i, and I studied it for 3 years before I even bought it. I wanted to make sure that this is something I was going to get into, and if I was going to invest in my money in this is what I was going to do. I watched every single video. As soon as I saw that V3i, I knew that was the one for me. I wanted to understand it before I bought it. I wanted to make sure, what it actually did. And I think the best part of these upper end machines is the adjustments that you can make to them in the field. Obviously, you can adjust your sensitivity. You can adjust your frequencies, and the V3i runs in 3 frequencies at the same time.
yeah.
You have better analytic modes on there to know what it is before you even dig it up. A lot of guys will go out there and say, well, my motto is dig everything. Well, yeah, because you have to,
Yeah, you really do.
because you don't, your machine can't really analyze what over time. Yeah, you'll be able to analyze that, and you'll be able to know better, but you still want to dig every target because you never know. Whereas the upper end machines, you're going to get a 80 to 95% knowing, hey, before I even dig this target, this is what it's going to be. If it's iffy, I'm going to dig it. But if it's, I'm going to pass it. I tell you, I dig a lot less trash when I go out hunting. If I'm spending 8 hours out there, my trash bucket is not full like a lot of guys I see.
Yeah.
And that's because I know what trash is going to be, and I'll check it every once in a while just to make sure. Hey, am I missing something? And I'll say, yep, see, I knew I shouldn't have dug it. So I mean, that's for me is probably the main option is the adjustments that you can make on your machine.
Yeah, and that's with me right now. I don't think I'm ever going to get away from one of the analog machines, kind of like this Cibola that I have right now. I've gotten so used to it. It's just like you say. It's the operator becomes the other half of the equation when it comes to it. It's not just the machine. It's the operator and how well they understand how the machine that they are swinging is actually working.
Exactly.
And with me right now, I completely, basically, when the machine and I are basically a single unit when we're going through the fields, and it's kind of odd watching some of the other guys with a mine lab and going out. My last video, you saw me and two other guys, and each one of them, I think one of them had a Garrett, the other one had a mine lab, and I was digging way less trash than they were, and I didn't have a display telling me exactly what the metal type was or anything else.
That's a great point. You have to know your machine. That's one of the main things is the machine you have, and you got to know your machine. You got to know it inside and out. And once you figure out your machine, yeah, you're going to start digging less trash. But those guys probably have a top of the line machine, but if you're not using it like you're supposed to be using it, it's just as good as any other machine.
Yeah, exactly.
But the big thing really is the location. If it's there, you're going to find it pretty much with any metal detector. I mean, any metal detector will go at least 6 inches.
Yeah.
And if it's there, you're going to find it. The guys are finding a lot of silver coins because they're going to the locations. Well, I hear stories, this machine stinks. I can't use this anymore. It doesn't find anything. It's just, crap and clad. And I'm thinking, well, because you're going to the wrong places. You can't just go to the brand new city parks because that's what you're going to find. You're going to find, just your modern coins, and maybe you get lucky and find some jewelry. But other than that, you just got to go to the really, really good sites.
Yeah, but then again, you got to think of it that way. All that experience that they got on those really junky locations, it's the same thing that I put myself through as soon as I got the Tesoro. I went to a friend's garden that's over here in near the town where I live, Schweinfurt, and I was metal detecting his garden, but I already knew that there was nothing but a whole bunch of shrapnel from World War II in it. But what I was doing is I was actually starting to learn all the signal differences. With the Tesoro only has a single tone, but it's the strength of that tone that tells me exactly what it is and how deep it is. And I was starting to be able to differentiate between junk metal and something that was of a higher condensity type of metal, kind of like aluminum or silver or gold or anything else would be a totally different signal.
Yeah, and another thing too is when you're getting your metal detector, it's not just the machine itself, it's the coil that you choose to use.
Yeah.
You're using your little sniper coil to get around trash, or you got your big Ceph coil to get deeper. But that's a main feature too. I mean, what kind of coils come with the metal detector?
Yeah.
So I think when you're out buying one, you should kind of go on YouTube, go on some of the forums, and pick one that you really want, and then take a look at that, and then see if it's for you by watching the videos and seeing how it works. And then if you're really interested in doing it, my suggestion would just save the money, save your money, and then buy what you really want instead of because you see these posts where like a couple of weeks ago we talked about where a guy's showing. He's got a wall of 6 to 8 metal detectors, and they're all, bottom of line metal detectors, $100 machines, $200 machines. Yeah, they'll work, but it's like, people get frustrated when they start finding junk and they expect to find, all this treasure, but their machine is not set up for that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that's the thing. it's all experience, it's all use. I mean, I'm pretty sure if it was still around, I could run down to Radio Shack, get one of their off the shelf ones, and run out and start finding treasure as well. But like you say, that sometimes the top of the line machines, like the White's V3i, it has three different signals. It gives you three different target discriminations on it. So you just have to figure out exactly what type of machine you want to use, research it, and then actually start thinking about if that's the one that you want to go with or if you want something else.
All right, let's get back on a lighter note here. Why don't we let's get one of those answers from our questions of the week. Let's see what you got posted out there. Lance, you got I guess a couple came in. You want to?
Yeah, we actually got a couple in there. So the question again was, if you had the chance to go metal detect any fantasy location, example Hogwarts, Mordor, or anything else along that line, from television, books, or film, where would you like to metal detect, and why would you like to find it? Well, one of the good ones that actually came in was Jerry Olson. He said that he would love to metal detect Atlantis because he's never done underwater metal detecting, and he thinks it would be fun. Plus, the stories of everything that was gold, which is only something that he's only found once in his hobby career so far. But the amount that they're talking about, the numbers would be just numerous, making it easy for a noob like him.
Yeah, I like that one. That's pretty interesting. What else we got?
Let's see. Randall Garrett, the guy who actually did the intro to our show today, he said that he'd love to do Smaug's Castle from The Hobbit to find some of the gold that was left behind.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know about me. I don't really have any fantasy place I would want to go to. But I always had where if I ever wanted to go back into time and do metal detecting, I think it would be during the Civil War era. And well, you really wouldn't have to metal detect because the stuff is right there, probably on the ground. But I couldn't. But when I got there, I'm thinking, do you really want to take some of this stuff back home and take it off the the dead soldiers like that and this and that? That's way too taboo. So I was thinking that I would go back into time and actually bring something to the Civil War era where they can use. And my idea was going to be dog tags. There are a lot of just missing guys in actions on both sides of the North and South, and hard to identify bodies, and a lot of loved ones didn't know whatever happened to their loved ones. Yeah. So I would come there and introduce the dog tag, and then I probably would have to split pretty easy. But then you kind of upset the timing, and hopefully the war doesn't end differently. So, but that's something I was thinking about. But anyway, I think we're having time now. Digger Don is gonna be up in a few minutes. We're gonna break for a little pay some bills for a quick commercial, and when we come back, Lance will be interviewing Digger Don. I got to take care of some business on the Global Detection Adventure group page.
Yep.
I got some troll patrol to do, and when Lance is done interviewing Digger Don, then I think it's time for my rant. So we'll be back, and I'll be back right after the interview.
All right, and I'll be back in just a moment, and Digger Don will be with me. So just stay tuned for a couple minutes, and just stick around. One of the worst things that can happen to a metal detector is a spade that fails when digging a hole, from a weld that breaks or a shaft that bends. Black ADA knew this as well, and as metal detectors themselves, they created spades specifically designed for metal detectors, from hardy welds to reinforced shafts. I own the Black ADA Extended Invader, and I cannot talk enough about how much I love this thing. Check out the line of products for yourself, from hand spades to long-handled ones like the one I have, or even sand scoops. So go check it out at blackada.com and see for yourself. That's blackada.com. Well, I'm back, and joining me, straight out of the UK, a famous personality from YouTube with several thousand followers, and I believe close to 100 videos now on her channel, on their channel. Digger Dawn, and I believe Twig the Dig is also with you guys.
Yep, that's right, Lance.
Hello.
Well, hello. And
Hi.
thanks, first of all, for taking the time to come in and talk with us. I know that you had talked to me earlier in the week and said that you actually had a story that you wanted to tell about how you guys first got into metal detecting.
Well, yeah, it's quite a nice story, really. I think I would like to share it.
Yeah, please do.
Both me and Twiggy wanted to do metal detecting years ago. And we didn't know each other at the time, but we both bought a metal detector on the same day,
Uh-huh.
2 years before we met. So it was only when we met that we started talking about metal detectors, and we discovered that we both had one stashed in the shed. So we decided one day, I was watching KG and Ringy on YouTube. We was watching a lot of those. Well, not on YouTube, on the TV.
Yeah.
And we thought, should we get our detectors out and go out one day? So we went out one snowy morning with two detectors. I think mine cost £50 and his was a bit more dear. It was about £60. Both rubbish, I've got to say. And we went out and we filmed that first day out, not because we thought anybody would ever watch it on YouTube. We did it just for memories, really.
Yeah.
And, the first day that we went out, we found a hoard of 2Ps, didn't we, Twiggy?
And a Roman bed spring.
And a Roman bed spring.
Roman bed spring.
And Twiggy's been finding 2Ps ever since, as most people know. And, everybody sees him digging up a 2P every week.
So by a horde, how many was it?
Well,
Obviously, two or more.
17 pence it was altogether, weren't it?
Yeah, it was quite a lot.
Oh, wow. Were you able to date them around to an age?
Well, yeah, there was about 1996, 2006. There were only new ones. There weren't.
Okay, so nothing that needed to be reported.
No, not at all. That's what I've just said. And it wasn't a Roman bed spring. It was just a bed spring. We just called it Roman to make it more exciting.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Roman knitting needle from a couple videos ago.
Yeah, that's the one.
But yeah, so yeah, I first got a question for you, Don. Is there any relation to you and the Chip Chase Castle?
Well, that's a good question. I have been to the castle a few times, and I have signed the book, Dawn Chip Chase. However, I don't think my bloodline actually goes to Chip Chase Castle, although I would really, really love to detect the grounds there.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah,
and
there's a couple here.
Whether to write to them or not and ask.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely worth trying. I don't know if it's considered a historic. Well, obviously, it must be a historic monument in the UK. Now, who you'd have to go through to get permission? I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find that out.
Well, they've still got private owners there, and it is a historical place. It's actually got a Norman keep that was dated from the 11th century.
Oh,
on
wow.
it. The bits were added onto it as it's gone through the centuries.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like the castle that I used to work at near me. I think the tower used to be a lookout tower built in the year 910, and then the castle sprung up around it around 1290, I believe it was.
Yeah, and I would love, but I have been there, and I really do wish I could tell you that I was Lady Chip Chase of the castle, but I'm not.
Well, you were to us. Anybody who follows you on YouTube. So yeah, now I'm kind of curious if Sweep's around, if he's causing any trouble in the background.
Sweep's been quite quiet today because I know in America you won't really know who Sweep is, but Sweep's from a children's TV program, was very famous in England and Australia. So he's not just our pet; he's actually from a TV show from the 70s.
Oh wow! Yeah, what show was that?
He had a buddy called Sooty. It was the Sooty and Sweep show.
Oh, okay.
So the other day, I mean, if on our group page you'd see it, that Sooty had turned up. Well, Sweep's not seen him for 33 years, so he wasn't too happy about it, and he's hit him with a wooden spoon. So he's been in the naughty corner since then.
So he's kind of calmed down today.
Yeah.
So yeah, uh, now just a moment. Now I know that you just recently got the Garrett 400i, and it's something that you've been testing around with. And one of your last videos, you actually did a review on it, and actually, I've been seeing some of the finds that you've been having. I believe one of the first holes that you dug with it ended up being, was it a 6P that you had dug up?
No,
I think the first hole was a Coke can.
it was a Coke can, actually, the first hole.
Well, you got to get used to the machine first.
Well, that was it, you see, because, I've loved my 350, I really do, and it's a little bit like the extension of my arm. I understand it so well. I've been finding really good things with it. I found hammered coins with it. I found everything that Twiggy's found with his Deus.
Oh, really?
It was just not having the iron audio part of it that I really, really missed. So when I heard that Garrett was bringing out a 400i that'd have those, the VDI numbers and also the iron audio, that's what got me really, really excited. So I've been going on about it for ages on my videos, as you know, saying I'd like one, and I was going to buy one. But luckily, Garrett in America emailed Regtons, who from UK, who are the main suppliers, and Regtons gave me one free of charge to test, on my YouTube channel, which I'm really grateful for.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic.
And we actually had one 10 days before anybody else in the UK. So I had that machine, and I put a video out on how to build it, and we did a ground test in Twiggy's garden, which he was a bit upset about digging up his lawn, but it was worth it, wasn't it, Twiggy?
Yeah, it was.
And then I've been out with it a few times, but at the minute, again, any new machine, even though it's quite similar to my 350, it has got new things that are blowing my mind a little bit, like the numbers and things. Now, I would never have dug a Coke can up apart from I was looking at the numbers, looking at all the new stuff on it, the iron audio, and I was getting a little bit confused. However, we've been out with it a few times over this weekend, and I'm getting more to grips with it. I absolutely love it. I think it's an absolutely fabulous machine.
We actually have a question coming from Timothy R. Ledoux, I believe. I hope I didn't just completely butcher that name. He wants to know, Don, to date, what is the oldest coin or artifact that you've found so far?
The oldest thing that I've found so far is an Elizabeth I silver hammered coin, and it was dated 1575.
Wow. That's
and
actually...
I found that in Yorkshire, and it was a really good example of, it was a threepence, it was.
Yeah, what we'll do is if you have a photo of that, we'll share that onto the GDA site, and so that they can take a look on that. Yeah, that's fantastic. What you say it was, 1535?
75.
1575. Well, yeah. I think you've completely outdated me by 211 years.
That was the oldest coin, Lance. The oldest artifact.
Oldest artifacts we've had. Well, some have not been verified by flows, but we've got a Bronze Age aug, which is something that they used to make metal leatherware with. They used to poke the holes in leather.
It's not like the UGG shoes, so it's an aug.
All AWL.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the oldest, I think the oldest artifact that I think I've ever found out here can be dated back to the 1500s to the 30-year war. It was the tip of a crossbow bolt, and that was it.
Nice though.
Yeah, but it's hard to date it. It's not like it had the guy's name written on the pointy end.
Sent from.
But I'll send you a picture for your site of that coin.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah, we'll definitely post it on there. We'll put it right into the comments area of the downloadable link as soon as that's available, which should be within 20-30 minutes after this show has finished airing. Now, Dawn, if I remember correct, you are a lecturer?
Yes.
And what is it that you lecture?
Well, I have had, for the past 10 years, I've been a sport and fitness lecturer, where I've lectured on anatomy and physiology.
Oh, really?
And nutrition and general, things to do with fitness. However, I have had a change of heart, and in October, I've changed areas, and now I've started working with people with learning difficulties.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I've done that. I found it really, really rewarding. And what's come out of that, I mean, they absolutely love the Digger Dawn things, and they beg me all the time to, Dawn, what have you got this week, and what have you got that week? So I'm trying to save up my detectors at the minute, the two that I've got, and our coins, and I'm going to take them out as lessons, metal detecting, because our early videos were all done where I work, so there's grounds where they can detect.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant the coins for them and let them find them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I know they treasure them.
I'm guessing some of them actually have attention deficit disorder and everything else.
Yeah, autism. Some have had maybe brain tumours early on, and they've been left, with some brain damage and things like that.
Yeah, something like this would be really great for their concentration and learning curves.
Well, they'd love it. They absolutely love it. It's just the case of being outside, doing something different.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, good on you for doing that. Really high kudos. And I can understand how your videos are popular pretty much throughout the entire age range. I mean, from the activity level of yourself to the coolness of Andy through every single one of it, and whenever something's found, the complete insanity that ensues. There is something for everybody to enjoy in your videos, and I can see how that they're the wide range of an audience that you guys actually have. Now, as far as inspirations, you both started wanting to get into metal detecting prior to becoming a couple.
Yeah.
But who was your inspirations? Why the desire to get into the hobby to begin with?
I've always had an interest in history. I know when I was at school, I wanted to be an archaeologist, believe it or not.
Mm.
And back in the day when I was at school, it wasn't like it is now, where you can, you get careers advice and things. And I remember going to my little slot where they said, "What do you want to be, Don?" And I said, "I want to be an archaeologist." And they said, "Don't be silly, be a hairdresser or something."
Or a nurse.
Or a nurse. So, yeah, I went off and I was a hairdresser for a while, which is one of many jobs that I've done. And I never actually got to be an archaeologist, but I've always still loved history, castles, old buildings, anything like that, coins. And coins actually got me interested when I was playing hide and seek when I was about 13. And I dug up George III guinea, which if I found now, my head would probably blow off. At the time, it was brilliant. And he had that coin for years, and I always used to look at it. So that was what made me want to metal detect, really.
Really?
And Twig is very similar. We're very similar in a lot of ways. I know he's cool and I'm like bonkers, but, we are quite similar, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And then somehow Dawn found Twig. Dawn and Twig found that they both wanted to do metal detecting, and so you guys finally went out and started doing it yourself.
Yeah, we didn't even have to buy him because we had them stashed in the shed, didn't we?
It was funny, actually, because it's one of those things, Lance, that what happens is that you meet someone for the first time, and metal detecting is probably the last thing you're going to talk about, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So that's really, and it sort of snuck into the conversation while out a few times. So, it's not the sort of thing you talk about on your first date, if you know what I mean, Lance.
Yeah, I completely understand. I mean, I still have a hard time talking with the wife about it after almost 18 years of marriage.
But what's been really good about it is, and I think it comes across in the videos, is that because we're both, it's not like Twiggy's ever said, "Come on, Dawn, let's go metal detecting," or I've said it to him. We've just done it equally.
Yeah.
And we both love it equally. And we spend all week researching. We're either researching where we're going to go, researching land history, or researching stuff that we found. And it's just endless. And then we just look forward to weekend, then we just metal detect all weekend, don't we? And then we work, make videos, and decide where we're going the weekend after, don't we?
Yeah.
So it's just our whole life, really, at the minute.
But one of these days, I'm going to have to load into my car and drive out to you guys, because I can't get permission out here to save my life.
We just got miles of permission.
Just got miles of permission. Like, I don't know if you've seen the moorlands where we've been lately.
No, I haven't. I've actually missed the last several videos. I will be honest with you.
It's absolutely beautiful where we've got. And there was another side of the moorlands that we've been after for a good 12 months. Anyway, I was driving past on Saturday. I saw the farmer, so I skidded my car, jumped in the field, giving me best speak. And he said, we can have it. So we've got all the lamb. There's some of it we can't go on yet because there's lambs on it. But we've been all over it this morning, discovering it. It's got fell down buildings, old cotton mills.
Oh, lucky you.
It's just absolutely full of history. We're just so excited. I can't tell you.
Now this question's coming from Dave Younger. Have you ever gone into a land without permission, either before the knowledge of getting permission for metal detecting, or anything that might have come up pure accidentally lately?
Well, be honest with you, the very first day that we went out on that snowy day, we just thought you could go anywhere, and we just wandered off. It's only local, like a bit of park. Well, it's not a park; it was a bit of a.
Well, I don't know. By the side of the lake, Lurwell, really. So. We
just thought it was just common land, and we did detect there, and it's when we put the video up on YouTube, people started saying that without permission. So we discovered that we shouldn't have been there, and after that, we've only ever been places that we should be. But it was because of things like that, I think, that made our videos good. Because I always try and put in helpful tips for people that are beginning, or beginners, because we remember so much that we didn't have a clue, did we?
No.
Didn't have a clue about anything. I remember on video 3 we made it, and it was called we found out what discrimination means, haven't we? Because we didn't even know what that meant. So, what we try and do is, I am always conscious that there's a lot of people starting metal detecting, and I always try and put little tips in that will help them in some way, because there is things that you don't even consider, that we would think, God, don't you know that? Don't you know that?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's a bit...
Well, we found out what discrimination meant, Lance, but we didn't know how to actually do anything with our machines to discriminate anything, so it was all metal mould all the time, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I actually had to learn the exact same way. I had my discrimination all the way down on my first machine, which was basically a knockoff Ace 150. And so I had the discrimination all the way down until I could start learning the signals. And then slowly I started watching the videos on how to change it.
Yeah, I mean, I've also got running alongside a little series called Metal Detecting for Beginners, and that came about because I've had a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of people on Facebook, on our Facebook group, all saying, "Oh, I've watched your videos. I'm getting a detector. I'm going out, or I fancy going out now." I really seem to have inspired quite a lot of people, which I'm glad to say. But I had a friend at work. And she came running over one day and she said to me, Dawn. I said, what? She said, I've been out metal detecting with my grandson. So I said, have you? That's great, that. She said, it was lovely. She said, we only found ring pulls and things like that. So I said to her, where did you go? So she said, we just went up to Clitheroe Castle. So she'd been actually in castle grounds. I said, you can't go there. And that's what inspired me to make the Beginner's Guide to Metal Detecting series that I've made. I've got one, where can you metal detect? What are the first items that you need to buy? Because, we went out, we didn't even have a spade, did we?
No.
We didn't have a pinpointer spade. I know Twiggy had a nice trowel for himself, and he gave me one of them things that you point bricks with.
Pointing trowel.
A pointing trowel, yeah, that was my first. There's no wonder I couldn't find anything.
So you look like a proper archaeologist out there trying to dig a hole.
Yeah. I'll just show a toothbrush.
We just had a compliment for you guys coming from Alex Dig Dug. He says, I love these guys. They always make my day when their videos come out. I know it's not a question, but it's true.
Oh, tell him thanks very much.
Thanks, Alex.
So yeah, just a second, Dave kind of lost my questions here, my train of thought. He's writing me at the same time. But and also another one just coming in. What's the favorite size coil to use at the castle sites? I guess is a theoretical question.
Well, to be honest with you, I've only ever used my DD coil. It's an 11-inch coil that I use on my 350, and I've got the same one now on my 400i. And I know a lot of people change to the bigger coil, don't they? Is it 13-inch what they do?
13, yeah.
But I'm happy with an 11. I think it's in between. I've never used anything else, really, so I can't really say.
I wouldn't even consider changing from the 11-inch coil on the dais to anything else, to be honest. I think it does a great job right away, for everything.
Yeah, I have the same on my Tesoro. It's an 11 by 8 double D, and I'm loving that thing absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Twiggy's on fire at the minute with his Deus. I mean, every time we go out, he's really improved massively over the past month.
Yeah, well, you got your new 400i, so you're going to be out there giving him the run for his money,
Oh,
literally.
he's worried. He's worried already. He knows
Oh,
I'm the
I'm
Silver
sat here
Queen.
shivering, panicking. Yeah, ding
Well,
dong.
Randall Garrett, he has a question for you. He said, "Where did you guys have the most fun digging so far?"
Oh,
We have fun every time we go out.
yeah, that's an hard one.
Um,
Just the moors where we've been lately, we've had a lot of fun, haven't we? To be honest with you, we have fun every time we go. I've got that sort of personality that I can even go out in torrential rain. I mean, that day when it was absolutely chucking it down when it was full of mud, that was funny, wasn't it?
yeah, that was a scream as well.
It just every day is brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I
fantastic.
answer that question because every day has been brilliant.
It does help actually if you find something decent. It makes you a bit giddy.
Yeah, it definitely does. I can understand it. It makes the cold worth it, makes the rain worth it, makes the sweltering heat worth it.
We don't have that very often in the UK.
We don't either here in Germany, but if you watch the one video I put out, Hell in a Field, I think I hit 44 degrees that day, and I almost passed out and had to quit.
Blimey,
Wow.
that's hot.
Yeah, so it was, yeah, I
Yeah.
normally wouldn't go out in that, but I happened to find one of my bucket list coins, and I just didn't want to quit.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, Twiggy found yesterday, he found a George IV silver shilling, which is quite rare because he was only king for 10 years between 1820 and 1830. So to find one of those is quite rare.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
in absolute mint condition. Mint it, isn't it? I mean, it's
Pretty much,
a
yeah.
fabulous coin. And we were that excited that we got up this morning, went straight back, didn't we?
Yeah. And found nothing.
Found nothing. That's just typical, isn't it? You get all excited, you get back out there, and next thing you know, you got absolutely no signals.
Yeah.
But if we found something great every day, it'd be boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be called metal detecting, it'd be called metal finding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's them small good finds that makes it all worth it.
It is. It really is. It's just like with Jerry last week. He went out there and found that gold bar. I don't know if you heard the story, but it was just fantastic. It couldn't have happened to a greater guy.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear that, but I'll have a look for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's in the last podcast. He found a Viking what is it called? A chip bar? Hack. It was a Viking hack gold bar.
Yeah, we did see it actually. Yeah, we did.
So yeah. Great guy. He's got it in the London Museum right now. It's getting checked out and will probably be handed out. But yeah, just getting out there and finding those couple little finds. For me it was the coins or my silver coin last year. For you, it might be a Roman bed spring.
Yeah. It actually came out of a car seat. I mean, like,
Not Ricardo.
Okay, it was a Roman car seat. So well, I think I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I really do appreciate you coming, taking the time to come onto the show and share with us everything. It's always a pleasure seeing you guys and watching the videos and talking with you. It's absolutely fantastic.
Thanks for having us on, Lance. We really sort of enjoyed it, haven't we?
we certainly haven't. We won't mind coming on again sometime, Lance.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love having you on. I got one more thing. It's a gentleman named Dave Younger. His son Giuseppe would love to meet you guys. He's 9 years old from Gazelle, where Sweep comes from.
I didn't know Sweet was born, did you? I thought it just,
Yeah, I thought it was just knitted together.
I thought it just fell out this guy. Giselle, I don't know where that is.
Guiseley. Griselle?
Gisley. Sounds like somewhere like Yorkshire. I don't know, I'll look it up. Tell him I'll look it up.
I'm going to ask him. York, Shire.
Shire.
Yorkshire, spelled Shire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's always a pleasure, and we'll definitely have to have you guys back on. Hopefully, I can get a little bit more experience out this year. We're 4 months in. I've had one hunt. I'm glad you guys are at least out filling out the airwaves on YouTube, getting all your stuff out there. And he does say yes, it's in West Yorkshire.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
I was thinking Mexico then. I thought that's a long way to come.
Well, I think he's in our Facebook group, isn't he? I know we do have a Facebook group.
Yeah, well, just let him know, Dave. Just get in touch with Don and Twig on their Facebook group. I believe it is the Digger Don and Twig the Dig Facebook group.
Yep.
And you can get in touch with them, and maybe you can get your son Giuseppe out there to meet up with them.
Because we do occasionally go over to Yorkshire, don't we, on Yorkshire digs?
On digs now and again.
So if we was going over to Yorkshire, you could let him know, where we were going.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
we love
fantastic.
tips on that.
All right, well, thank you very much. I need to see what's going on with Dave. He was addressing an issue that we were having on our Facebook group, so he had to let go. But we'll definitely be in touch and bring you back on maybe in a month or two, and we'll continue the conversation. Maybe we can find out, what you guys have been up to.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Great talking to you, Lance.
Well,
and hello, everyone out there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye, Lance.
Bye-bye. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and cut us into a commercial, and we'll bring Dave back in and find out exactly what's going on with the Facebook group. So until then, just stick with us for the next minute, and I'll be right back.
One of the worst things that can happen to a metal detector is a spade that fails when digging a hole, from a weld that breaks or a shaft that bends. Black ADA knew this as well, and as metal detectors themselves, they created spades specifically designed for metal detectors, from hardy welds to reinforced shafts. I own the Black ADA Extended Invader, and I cannot talk enough about how much I love this thing. Check out the line of products for yourself, from hand spades to long-handled ones like the one I have, or even sand scoops. So go check it out at blackada.com and see for yourself. That's blackada.com.
All right, we're back in, and I got Dave back in. Dave, what was going on the Facebook group there?
Oh man, the trolls are out. Well, it all started last night, and it's just been snowballing to a point where it's like, you know what? I'm a nice guy, but you can pull and jerk my chain just so much before the light's gonna go on, and I got to get this off my chest and just tell how straight out how it is, man to man. First thing is trolls. You want to come on our site and start trolling our posters, guys who post on there and women who post on our Facebook page. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete you and block you.
Yeah.
Last night we had a troll on. We had Laszlo, Peter Ellis. Guy comes in with these great Civil War things that he's been finding in history. I mean, just amazing pieces.
Oh yeah.
Coins that are just like you drool over, And this guy's just an amazing hunter. Okay, and he's been around for a long time. A lot of people know him. A lot of people know he's the genuine deal. So you got a troll comes on yesterday, and he starts, busting Laszlo's chops about his coin and how it's fake. And he kept going on and on. And I said, dude, if you keep going on, I'm gonna ban you. And he kept going and going and going. And finally, I just had to, you're done. So as soon as I banned him from the Facebook group, he starts PMing me, going on my private message, starts to, oh yeah, you guys are a bunch of fakers. Everybody on there is a faker. So this is just a one of the things I just had to get rid of is the trolls. You come on our page and you start trolling, definitely you're gone. But my big issue, and this is what really grinds my gears here. Okay, you want to be on Facebook with me, like on my timeline? Okay, check out my timeline. Okay, if you accept my friendship, check out my timeline. Okay, because that timeline and GDA go hand in hand. Okay, that's what I'm about. I'm into metal detecting. I'm about metal detecting. Yeah, I'll have some personal stuff on my timeline, but basically, this is a great hobby. This is what I'm really interested in. This is going to be the meat of my timeline.
Yeah.
So, you will be added to the group of the GDA group if you become my friend. I want you to look around, okay? I can't invite you because it's a totally different kind of page. I'm going to add you, okay, if you become my friend, and you look around, okay? If it's not for you, cool. You PM me, say, Dave, you know what? It's not for me. I already have, I'm in enough groups. Fine. Boom. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that you're off the group. Second, I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to have to defriend you and block you. And it's not because of you itself. It's because of the handful of people, which I like to call trolls, who keep on coming on our Facebook page and my timeline and throw stones, and then they run away like I don't even want to use those verbs, but they run away like you know what I'm trying to say, Lance?
Like a chicken little.
Yeah, like a chicken little, okay? This guy, for example, okay, the guy goes on my timeline. He becomes friends with me. He gets on my timeline and starts mouthing off about, oh, yeah, I'm sick and tired of these people adding me to groups. And now he's on my timeline where all my friends are reading this, right?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, hey, I don't want to be in this group, okay? You're on my timeline. You see what I'm about, okay? Yeah. If you don't like it, boom, you tell me you're off. I'm going to defriend you. I have to defriend you, and I have to block you because of people like this. And I'm not going to call anybody's name out. I'm going to use initials for this guy, okay? What's the initials for Indiana? Is it I or just IND? It's IND, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. And what's the initials for Digger? Just D? I'll just use D?
D.
Okay. So I don't want to name any names, but I'll just go with INDD. Okay? That's for Indiana Digger, okay?
Uh-huh.
You come on my website, you bash me, you block me, so I can't even explain what you're looking at, okay? You're on the group, and you're going to keep getting notifications if you're my friend, okay? Get off my friends list. If you don't want to get the notifications of GDA, get off my friends list. If you can't handle the traffic, get off my friends list, okay?
Yeah.
So now I have to
leave GDA.
Now I have to,
thing.
Now instead of just, those, because once you join and you leave, I can't add you again. And then you get guys coming on our group saying, oh, I'm going to go crazy if you keep adding me to my group. This is like the 6th time today. Really, dude? First of all, you only can get added once, okay? And what's happening is you're getting notifications because you're still friends with me, okay? You're still friends. Do you know how Facebook works? Plus, you probably have common friends who are on our page too, and you're getting those notifications. You're not in the group anymore, okay? Look and see who your friends are before you start bad-mouthing people like the people in our group and like me personally or going on our group. Be a man. That's all I'm saying, Just be a man. Go on and PM me and say, hey, man, I don't want to be on this group. Please remove me. No problem. I've got a half a dozen people or a dozen people who said that. No problem. Okay? But you got to understand that I'm going to defriend you too. Not that they really care because, they don't know me anyway. So I don't know why you accept my friendship or why you wanted to be my friend and then, and then not really care what you're doing. So if you're just out there collecting friends, that's one thing, okay? But I'm not going to be in that train anymore with you guys, okay? So that's the rule. All right? You get on my timeline. If you don't like what you see, you don't like what you see in the group, leave the group, defriend me, unfriend me, and block me. Because I'm going to do the same thing for you. As soon as I see you leave that group, bam, I'm going to defriend you and block you. Not because I have a beef with you. It's because You get those guys that come in and say, I'm on 5 groups. What are you doing? You keep adding me to this group. No, I'm not doing it. I'm rattling on. I'm not doing it, but I'm getting this off my chest so everybody knows how the system works. All right, Lance. I'm exhausted now.
I bet. I don't even think I heard you take a single breath.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been building up for such a long time, and it's like, I don't want to have a negative show. But, sometimes you got to put these trolls right in their place. It's like it's time. And I'm not the guy, if you bully me, if you do this to me, I'm going to call the Facebook police or I'm going to take you to court. It's like, I don't do that. I'll go one-on-one with you, man, with wit, okay? You want to try to troll me? I'll go one-on-one with you, and I guarantee that I will beat you in a one-on-one debate, okay? Because here's a sense of troll. I have wit. You're a nitwit, but I have wit, okay? And I know how I win those battles of words, okay? It's fun, sort of, because I know how I win those battles, because when I give a comeback to one of his comebacks, it'll be like, oh, F you, or, yeah, you suck, okay? And I know I win right then and there, okay? So you're messing with the wrong guy, trolls. And if you guys know me from the past, I used to do a whole TV show about this. And we're not going to get into that right now. But, Lance, let's get on a lighter note before my head explodes.
I thought we could go back and read a couple more of the questions from couple more of the answers from the question of the week.
Right. Let's do it.
Oh, man.
I feel better.
This is going to be funny. So, the Black ADA question of the week was, if you had the chance to go metal detect any fantasy location, for example, Mordor, Hogwarts, etc., from television, books, or film, where would you like to metal detect, why, and what would you like to find? So I had Dave Sadler actually said that he would actually like to go to Narnia, the amazing place. So much to see, and so many different species are there. And he wants to find one of the king or the queen's crowns there. That would be different. He'd definitely have to look for a wardrobe to get there.
So they have to go through the closet first?
Yeah, it's a wardrobe.
Is that what it is? Wardrobe closet?
Yeah.
I've seen that like a couple of times.
Yeah, but probably one of the most honest ones was Dr. A, the guy from my videos, Daniel Ainsworth. He just said, I just want to search my local area. So much history to be uncovered. Just finding a coin means everything. So many years and so many people have just walked over it. So much history has happened in this little time capsule. Has seen so much history untouched. I find this to be one of the most beautiful things about the hobby.
Wow. What's this guy's name again?
Daniel Ray Ainsworth. That's the guy that I go metal detecting with. He's part of our little group of 3.
Well, does he got a GDA patch? Because I believe this is a really, really good one. And I would like to send him a GDA patch.
Definitely, yeah. I can hand one off to him next time. I got to see if I still have any sitting here. I know that you're working on getting
Yeah, I have a few left. But if you can get him one, if not, just let me know and I'll shoot him one. That's a really good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I think we should we'll end the show here. Getting a little off track, and it's running a little bit late, but that's okay. I want to give a little shout out and tell you a little story of a little experience I had metal detecting. I was going through Google Maps and trying to find somewhere old in the Green Bay area to go metal detecting.
Yeah.
And there was this just a small park. Wasn't really big, maybe about like a square city block. And I'm sure there was probably houses there at one time. And it's turned into a park. So I was pretty excited to go there. And as I was pulling up to park, I see 2 other metal detectorists there. It was, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I was pretty excited actually, because usually when I go metal detecting, I don't see any metal detectors guys around me or women around me. So I was like, I couldn't wait to park and say hello and talk to them. So I park and say, hey, how you guys doing? And the guy was really nice. He was with his son. his young son, and they were metal detecting. I think he was using the AT Pro, and I wasn't sure what his son was using, but I got to tell you something. It was a good experience, and we went out. We talked a bit. His name is Steve, and his son was Jack. Last name is I think it's pronounced Grop, or it could be Grap. I'm not really sure. I think it's Grop. But they're out of the Green Bay area, and we exchanged stories on areas that we were detecting, and kind of exchanging, saying, "Hey, what'd you find?" It was good. It was the first time I've really went out and actually metal detect with someone else besides, obviously by going alone for like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. I got to meet somebody. The kid Jack, he found an old toy from like the early 1900s. It was a couple horses, cast iron horses that you hook up to a wagon. And they're working cleaning it up. I think that's on their Facebook page right now. He's got a couple shots of that. And Steve, he found a really nice silver ring that day too. And the only thing I got out of that was I think just a wheat penny from the 40s. But it was a good experience. I got a lot of clad out of that too. But I think that park was pretty much hunted over. But it was really good. It was really fun, and I just wanted to say thanks to Steve and Jack for letting me metal detect with them.
Yeah, definitely. It's always great meeting up with new people. It's like me, Benchy, and Dr. A, Daniel. We met up. I met up with Benchy through a local website, a German forum, and then we started detecting. And then he had his friend, Dr. A, and he came up and started metal detecting. And so, yeah, that's how the three of us just suddenly, every time one of us goes detecting and it's somewhere nearby, all three of us end up showing up.
Yeah, I know. I know there's a lot of groups out there, and they go in those detecting groups, but I'm not really into going into those competitions where they plant stuff and you go and get coins. It just really doesn't really do anything for me. It just, the excitement is really not there. I mean, you meet a lot of people and stuff like that, and you can have a nice day meeting people and doing stuff. I probably would rather be the guy that was helping run the group hunt and actually hunting itself. But yeah, it was pretty nice. I would like to see anybody else out there in the Green Bay area. I got a few permissions this year that are really nice, very old permissions. If you guys would like to go out and hunt, you can PM me, and maybe hopefully we can get together and we could do some detecting together.
Yeah, definitely.
But
yeah, it seems to me it's a lot more fun when you have at least one or two people around you. Maybe a larger group I don't think I could do, but one or two people, because when you find something like the silver coin, it just makes it a little bit more energy comes up. You have somebody to boast to.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when Jack couldn't wait to show me what his find was, and then his dad Steve came over and he showed me the ring, and I see if we had any markings on it, took the magnifying glass out. So it was pretty cool. I mean, even though you didn't find it, you're happy for the people that did find it. And it really did make the metal detecting experience just a lot better.
Yeah.
But also, I want to give a shout out to another great guy that comes on our Facebook page named Randall Garrett, and he's out of Bowie County, Texas.
Yeah. He did the intro for the show this week.
Yeah, and I finally get to hear his Texas accent there. It was pretty cool. But he's got a new group on Facebook, and it's called the Bowie County Metal Detectors. And they're a group of folks who love to get together and dig history, and and they have fun. And it's family-oriented club, so your whole family can go to enjoy the day, and go out there and preserve and save some of the past and get introduced to metal detecting. It's a very positive site there. It likes to promote the image of detecting to be positive, and the community that they are detecting in. God, I think last week I was the fifth member on there. and now I think they have over. They're probably going to get close to 40 or 50 right now. I haven't been on there.
Yeah, it's
since this. Yeah, so just wanted to say hello and thanks for your post on GDA. And if anybody out there who lives in Texas or in that area, because they're always looking for to meet new friends and join their group, and they have group hunts and raffles, and it's a really fun atmosphere. So check them out.
Yeah, if you want to link, if you want to know where to find them on Facebook, you can look up Dirt Fishing with the Garretts, and it's written the exact same way as the Garrett metal detectors. So Dirt Fishing with the Garretts on Facebook, and you can request to join their group. And if you want to join their metal detecting group itself, then just get in touch with them, and they'll give you everything you need to know.
All right, cool. You got any other?
Yeah, I actually want to give a shout out to excuse me, my brain just completely lost again. I don't know what's going on.
You can't use mine because mine already exploded.
Yeah, today's been weird. Skype just started going, catawampus in the couple minutes before we actually came on to the show. So yeah, it's just been one of those days. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to Jerry, to Jimmy Nicola from the last episode, and obviously his daughter, and give them, and hope they're doing really well out there. And then obviously my other shout outs are going to be Dr. A, who I know is probably listening as we speak right now, Daniel Ainsworth, and then Benchy, who doesn't listen to it. He's unfortunately, he doesn't understand it too much. He does speak English, but he's a little not really that big into it. He posts on to the group every once in a while. So.
All right. Well, before we take off for the day, Lance, why don't you let our listeners know who's up next as our guest on the podcast?
Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. The next two shows are going to be live. Just a second. Let me pull this up. I didn't have this page open for some reason.
So while you're looking, you got it? Do you have it?
Yeah,
Did you find it?
Got it.
Okay, go.
The next two shows are going to be Sunday, April 24th, with our special guest Stephen Gray out of the United Kingdom, also known as I can't even.
No, the man with the hat.
No,
right? No, we're not. That's Stephen Gray. Oh, are you kidding me? Stephen Gray's going to be on the. Okay, yeah. Stephen Gray's going to be on next. Yeah. Oh man, I'm going to love that.
He's a little crazy.
He's a crazy guy. You guys got to check it out next week, because Steve, he's one character, man, and I would love to meet up with him and drink a few pints, because it would get crazy.
Yeah, so that show is going to be Sunday, April 24th. It's going to be at the same time, so it's going to be at 6 o'clock in the evening, Germany, 5 o'clock in the evening, UK, 12 o'clock New York time, 11 o'clock Central time, 10 o'clock Mountain time, and 9 o'clock in California, and it's actually the morning of the 25th in Australia at midnight on the West Coast and 2 a.m. on the East Coast. Wow.
Okay, what time is it playing in Chattahooga, Mississippi?
That's going to be, Mississippi, that's Central, so that's going to be 11 o'clock in the morning.
All right, they're going to have to find us somewhere or another.
And then the one after that is going to be May 8th. Sunday, May the 8th, and that's going to be Jerry King. This is a very inspirational story for everyone. This gentleman is metal detecting from a wheelchair, and so this is going to be a story that I think a lot of people need to listen to, because it's a story about not giving up on your dreams and wants.
Yeah, he's been out there for a while doing it, and he's on our Facebook group right now too. It's just amazing. It's just amazing the way he can actually go and not only do the detecting with the setup on his chair, but he lowered the chair. He customized his chair to actually do the digging itself too. So that's something I definitely want to talk to him about. But got some good news. I talked to Laszlo Peter Ellis, the one of our let's see, well, I could say one of our extraordinaires on the Global Detection Adventure group page. He's going to come on sometime this summer, talk about all his Civil War findings and his great coin collection. So I'm really looking forward to talking to him. And do we have Stephen A, the man with the hat? Do we have him booked? Or are we
no, not yet. I'm
him?
still working on it. I'd love to get Stephen Acker on as well. I know he's extremely busy with his own charities and everything else for cancer, and so I completely understand that and respect him greatly for it. I'm just hoping that if he finds time to come in and join us, to just get in touch with me on our Facebook page, and I will move anything around to make space for him.
Yeah, you just got to check out his YouTube page. He's got a really good thing going right now, very creative. He goes in battles one person from a different part of the country, and you get to vote who is the best, who has the best find between him, and it's interactive, and you can vote right there, right after the video. So that's check it out. He's got his video right now on our Facebook page, group page.
Oh, pardon me. Yep. So check it out, and anybody who wants to come in and join us on the podcast, feel free to get in touch with myself, Lance Goolsby, or Dave DiNatale on the Facebook group of Global Detection Adventures, and let us know that you'd like to join us on the group. You can also get in touch with us through the website, that's globaldetecting.com, and feel free to go check that out. I also forgot to mention that Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine's website is archmdmag.com. That's archmdmag.com. So check their website out.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us and listening today. And I'm Dave D, and I am stoked. And that's Lance Goolsby, and he's digging it up.
I'm digging it up, y'all.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right, so we'll see you guys on the 28th. Until then, let's get out on those fields and dig it up, y'all. I'll see you out on the fields. This has been a production of the GDA Podcast Network.